So the story goes that 1950s, a young girl who went by the name Candy was murdered on the old Finch Bridge in Scarborough, Ontario. She had been out celebrating her birthday with friends when she got separated from the group. Despite their frantic search, she was nowhere to be found. It wasn't until the first light of dawn that her lifeless, mangled body was discovered. Her killer was never found. According to the legend, what you need to do is go when it's full dark and near the witching hour. If you cross the bridge at night and sing happy birthday, you will hear the girl screaming as she's murdered. It's one thing to read up on such legends and a whole other experience to witness them firsthand. And that is what this story is about. This was back in 2012 around October. I was 23 years old. My family was out of country for a few weeks, and I was home alone. I'd be working or studying and spend my time playing games and eating pizzas. On a Saturday night, I got a call from my school friend Anna. She and I lived a few blocks away, so we'd hang out often. However, it was 11 p.m., which was pretty late for her to even call me. I picked up the call, and her first words to me were, "Haunting of the old Finch Avenue Bridge, Google it." I was confused and said, "What? Why?" "Because we are going there tonight," she responded. I resisted, but she was persistent. She lived with roommates and was bored out of her mind, and this was her definition of fun, driving to a spot that is famously haunted. In her defense, I wasn't much different. We bonded over horror movies and urban legends, so this was very much in character for us to do. I quickly looked it up and was amazed by how I completely missed this one. I ended up agreeing to the trip. I left my apartment around 11:30 p.m. and picked her up soon after. We lived in the city of Brampton, so it was about a 45-minute drive. On the way, she gave me a full recap of the story about the old Finch Avenue Bridge, like an excited kid talking about their favorite cartoon. We grabbed coffees from a drive-thru and reached there around sometime before 12:30 a.m. When we left Brampton, the night was clear with a full moon and some regular October breeze. When we got closer to the bridge, about a couple of kilometers away, it miraculously got foggy. It could be just a natural shift in weather, but still, it amplified the eerie aspect of the situation. I slowed down as we got closer to the spot, and I realized there were no streetlights. We cautiously entered the bridge on the old Finch Avenue. It's surrounded by trees, and not a pleasant sight in the middle of the night. I pulled over around the middle of the bridge. Now, both of us silently stayed in my car. All that excitement and dare just abandoned us. I asked her if she wanted to do the honors and step out to sing happy birthday for our ghost. She basically looked at me like this whole thing was a bad idea. She absolutely did not appear to be in any mood to step outside the vehicle, let alone sing the birthday song. I conjured some will and managed to step outside the car, walked around it, and stood at the edge of the bridge as the fog surrounded me. I told Anna to keep the engine running. I started to whisper the happy birthday song. Nothing happened, and that gave me some confidence to sing it a bit louder and louder. I simply heard my voice echoing back, but nothing more than that. I looked at Anna, and she said, "You are not doing it right. You have to say her name. You have to say, 'Happy birthday, Candy.'" Suddenly, I felt chills down my back, but I wasn't one to give up. I sang it again with her name in it this time. The first time, nothing happened. I sang again, and this time the car's ignition turned off. I looked at Anna and asked her if she is messing with me, but she was too afraid to even answer me. I told her, "Please turn the car back on." She tried, but it did not work. I was done. No more of this nonsense. I walked around the car to get into the driver's seat, and that's when I heard a very audible shriek. It sounded like someone ran by us while screaming. It came from afar, got loud, and escaped to the other direction. I froze for a second and jumped in the car immediately after. "Did you hear that?" I asked her. And before I could finish my question, she responded, "Yes, I did. Drive. Get me out of here." I tried to start the car a few times to no avail. As I was doing that, I saw to my left, and I could swear I saw a blurred figure of a woman hovering by the bridge and slowly approaching us. I don't know if that was a ghost or my brain tricking me at that point. My flight mode was failing, so fight mode had to take over. I told Anna to take the wheel and turn the car on neutral gear. I got out and pushed it with all my strength. I managed to push it off the bridge without looking back. I got back in the car, and it managed to start this time. I took a quick U-turn and drove as fast as I could, as we still needed to take that bridge to get back home. As I was driving back, I glanced at the same spot where I saw a hovering figure, and it was still there. Luckily, we managed to get off that bridge and get back home. Anna and I did not share a single word throughout our drive. I dropped her off and returned home. It was around 2 at that point. I could not sleep, so spent my night playing games. Years have gone by, and I've forgotten many details of the incident, except one. The visual of that girl hovering in the fog is burnt in my head. I dream about it and can't seem to get it out of my system. Perhaps it's wiser to let certain legends rest undisturbed, because once you awaken them, they might never let you go.